If you're still relying on ads or cold outreach in 2025 to get life insurance clients, you're missing a huge opportunity with content marketing. And I'm going to show you how you can consistently and repeatedly get leads from content marketing each and every single month and for years to come. What is up, guys? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Philip Setter. I've been in the insurance industry for over 10 years now, and I've been able to build my own brokerage to 6 figures and beyond 100% online. If you want to do the same thing in your business, I've recorded a 1-hour masterclass, which you can take a look at, in the description below. But without further ado, let's just get right into this video. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I just want to give you guys a little bit of context on why content marketing, and specifically, in my opinion, video content marketing is the best way to do any type of content marketing. Anything can work, and I'll explain that a little bit here later on. However, why content marketing? Here's the thing. In 2025, I don't know how anyone is doing business without some type of content marketing. Maybe in the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, you could, do cold calling, go door to door. You could run some ads in a newspaper, and that's your business. But in 2025, there's so much competition and there's so much noise out there that you really need to do something to set yourself apart from all the other competition. And especially in such a commoditized industry, such as financial services, which is so personally based, it's such on an individual basis, you need to do something to set yourself apart. What makes you any different than the insurance broker down the street, than me, than another guy, than the other 1,000 agents that are on LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all these other places? What makes you different? One of the best ways that you can establish that know, like, and trust factor where people want to work with you is by content marketing. And I'm going to talk about this more here, but specifically video content marketing. I mean, why are you watching this video right now? You're getting to know me, you're seeing me, you're establishing, if you like me or not. Maybe you like me, maybe you don't, but the best way to do that is through video. If you just read a blog post or you read an article, yes, there can be some value in that, but if I wrote an article and you were reading it, you wouldn't really get to know me as a person, decide if you wanted to work with me as an individual. So video content marketing in 2025 is the best way to build that know, like, and trust factor to get clients in the insurance industry. And now, one of the best things about content marketing is you get to do a lot of the work up front, but it continues to give you leads and drive business for years to come. Here's the thing. If you're doing cold calling, let's say, or door knocking, if you go out there one night and you knock on 50 doors, great. That was a great night. Maybe you got 5 clients. Here's the thing. The next day, you're back at 0. You still now need to go out and knock on another 50 doors to hopefully try and get some business. However, with video content marketing, and specifically YouTube, you can make a video one time and maybe that video does great, and then it continues to feed you leads and drive traffic to your landing page or your website years down the road. I've created videos in 2020 and 2021 that still sees thousands of views every single month to this day in 2025 and drives traffic to my landing page and my website. And so content marketing can be one of the most effective ways you can do a lot of that work up front and then see dividends way down the road. Because it's evergreen content, it continues to get searched for and it continues to drive traffic for years and years to come. So step number 1 is you want to choose a primary content platform. So here's the thing. Any platform is going to work. TikTok will work. Instagram will work. Facebook will work. YouTube will work. LinkedIn will work. Any of these platforms will work. However, you should choose one platform that you're going to focus on all in, and then you can repurpose content from that platform across your other platforms. But you should start with one platform. You should focus exclusively on it for a while. You should learn it and become an expert at it. And then over time, you can start to layer more and more content on the other platforms. For me personally, I chose YouTube. YouTube is my main platform. I create long form content and short form content, and then I can repurpose it across other platforms. However, YouTube is first and foremost my main content platform. Now, once you've settled on a platform, we can go to step number 2, which is building your personal brand. Now, I'm not going to get into all of it in this video. Again, I have that masterclass where I go into it a little bit more in depth. However, for your personal brand, you need to be aware of a few things. You need to get these things set up properly from the beginning just to make yourself credible and established in the industry. So a few things that you can do with this is, very professional headshots, maybe a color scheme or a color format that goes with that. I have green for my channel. What are your values? Who are you serving? What's your unique value proposition that you give to your clients? Once you build out this personal brand, then you can put it across all your different channels and you can make them consistent across the board, whether that's YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, etc. So then no matter where people are finding you, they can see this consistency of your personal brand across all these different channels. But you do want to spend a little bit of time setting this up, making sure you get it right before you start throwing content, out there, just so people can, see you and they know and recognize you from your personal brand. But this can be an evolving thing. You don't need to get it perfect from day one. I mean, I did not get it perfect from day one. I obviously, grew and evolved and changed it over time to develop it as what it is to this day, pardon me. But you should spend some time, again, going through those things, going through that setup of your personal brand. And I talk about it more in the masterclass, but you should get that finalized and set up before you start posting content. One last thing I want to go over before I move on from personal branding is if you can find something that you can attach your personal brand to that resonates with you, and this could be a hobby, an avocation, a past career, a religion, a family thing, something that's very powerful to you. And if you can draft or craft, your personal brand around this thing, not only can it make your messaging way more powerful, but it can make your personal brand stand out way more, even to people who aren't in that specific thing. They're going to say, wow, look at this guy. I want to do business with him just because he's doing all these other things. He looks like, he has a lot of things going. For example, in my life, I'm a mountain sports enthusiast. So I'm a rock climber, ice climber, backcountry skier, alpine climber, etc. And I've branded myself as the insurance broker for mountain sports enthusiasts. And this has allowed me to open many doors in many different places and create such a powerful personal branding message to not only those people, but everyone else as well. But with all that being said, let's actually just dive into the content marketing and the various different platforms and what I would recommend you set up as an insurance broker. Starting with number one, you guessed it, YouTube. So here's the thing with YouTube. YouTube is an SEO-based platform. It's the number 2 search engine in the world, the number 1 search engine being Google, and Google bought YouTube. So, they're joined together and a lot of the search results from Google will actually push to YouTube. So everything that you're going to be making on YouTube as an insurance broker is going to be search-based content. Here's the thing. No one is interested in life insurance except for other insurance brokers. So people need to be actively searching for a life insurance topic to find your channel. So this is where you're going to start making videos for search-based queries, such as, maybe term life insurance versus permanent life insurance, or best life insurance companies in Canada in 2025, or whole life versus universal life, etc., etc. These are all search-based terms that people will be using to look up your videos. Now let's talk about YouTube just a little bit, just to give you some context on it. And I made another completely separate video just on using YouTube to drive traffic to your website as an insurance broker. However, here's the number one thing you need to know about YouTube is you just need to commit to the process and you need to commit to progress over perfection, because YouTube is a complicated platform to try and learn. There's so many different things. You have to record the videos. You have to have a background. You have to have, a microphone. You have to have the camera. You have to edit them. You need to learn the SEO and the keywords and the tags and the thumbnails and the scheduling and the best time to post, and the analytics. Here's the thing that I would recommend to everyone starting out on YouTube. And again, I made a completely separate video that goes more in depth. And of course we have the masterclass as well. But here's the thing, commit to making the first 50 videos on your channel. And you kind of can look at these first 50 videos as like the throwaway videos. And now here's the thing, I'm not saying to make garbage videos on your channel. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the first 50 videos is really, that's just your apprenticeship into YouTube. That's you figuring out how to get in front of a camera, how to do the right settings, how to pick a microphone, how to edit them in a way that people like. Do people like this thumbnail? Do they like that thumbnail? How do I schedule them? How do I do all these other different things? It's really just an apprenticeship into learning. And if you expect nothing, if you expect no results from the first 50 videos, then you're not going to be disappointed and you're going to commit to long-term making these videos and pushing past that barrier of failure. Because once you get past it and you learn how to make videos, YouTube can be one of the most powerful ways to drive traffic to your insurance website and actually get insurance leads each and every single month. I committed myself to the process of making insurance videos for my insurance brokerage, and it took me 1 year before I saw a single client. I made 8 videos per month, every single month for 1 year before I saw one single client from YouTube. And now I see probably anywhere from 10 to 15, 10 to 20 clients per month just from YouTube alone. So it can be a very powerful tool. And there's so many things to explain about it, obviously, but the number one thing you need to be aware of is you have to commit to the progress and focus on progress over perfection. Because if you try and make everything perfect, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to spin your wheels. You're going to try and make it perfect. You're not going to commit to the learning process. And then you're going to quit it and you're going to say, say YouTube doesn't work. It sucks for financial advisors and brokers and insurance brokers. Doesn't work. Yes, it does. You just didn't push past that initial barrier and get it to the point where it actually does work. Now, one of the nice things about YouTube is once you create the content on YouTube, you can repurpose it across all the other different platforms. And like I mentioned, you should focus on one platform at first, and I would recommend YouTube. However, over time, you can start to layer in other things on those other platforms, and I'm going to show you here in a second. But first and foremost, you're creating long form videos on YouTube, and you should also be creating short form videos on YouTube as well. So here's the thing. On YouTube, you post your long form videos. That's great. If you reshare that on other platforms with a link, other platforms such as maybe Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, they don't want to lose viewers by clicking off of their platform. So if you share, hey, I made a new YouTube video, click here to watch it, that post is going to be throttled within those other platforms because they don't want you to leave that platform. So that's not the best way to repurpose content on YouTube to other platforms. However, the shorts, if you're making shorts on YouTube, so anything under 60 seconds, those can be easily repurposed and uploaded natively to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And then you're keeping those people on those platforms and you're repurposing that content without them having to leave that platform and go to YouTube. But let's move on to some other platforms now. Let's go to Facebook. So honestly, I don't use Facebook that much for my business, whether it's this one, Policy Stream, or my other insurance brokerage. I do have a Facebook business page. The reason that you would set that up is because that's where you can run ads on Facebook. You need to have a business page, but I am reposting some of my shorts onto Facebook, and I'm still using my personal Facebook to post some life updates and some, major insurance things on there to try and get some clients from that. But Facebook is really more of a personal connection style of platform now. You're really just connected with a few friends and family members on there. It's not really used in 2025 that effectively, in my opinion, to grow a personal brand and to grow a business. But again, if you're repurposing your content, you might as well put it on that platform as well. However, Instagram can be a very effective way to grow your personal brand and to grow your business in 2025. So here's the thing. No one is following someone on Instagram from financial advising or insurance. So you can repurpose your short form content onto Instagram, and I would recommend you do that. However, first and foremost, if you're going to be using Instagram as a tool to grow your insurance business, you need to settle on something that drives traffic and drives people and followers to your page that's not insurance related. And I talked about this with the niche here before, how I'm, a rock climber, ice climber, backcountry skier. People on Instagram are following interesting reels that they watch, videos, and some posts. And the most effective way to grow your channel, your Instagram channel, in 2025 is reels. But nobody is going to follow you from life insurance reels talking about term life insurance versus permanent life insurance. So if you want to use Instagram and you want to use it effectively, you need to think about something that you can connect with, and hopefully it should be something that you're already doing so you don't have to create extra content. But maybe, you love sailing. Maybe you're really into woodworking. Maybe you're like a family man and you have like so many pictures of your kids doing all these different fun activities, out hiking in the mountains, going to, a theme park, maybe going on a canoe trip or something like that. Whatever it is, you need to attract followers from something different than life insurance. And then once you have the followers, that's when you can start to use a combination of stories and posts, and of course the repurposed reels from YouTube to now layer in those life insurance topics and drive them to, your lead page, or your funnel or your landing page, and get them to convert from a lead to a client. Now, I made another completely separate video where all I do is talk about using Instagram effectively for insurance brokers. You can either find it on my channel or just comment Instagram below and I'll send it to you. But let's go right into TikTok now. So TikTok can be used, in my opinion, most effectively just as a repurpose style platform, So you're creating the short form content on YouTube. You can very easily repurpose that on TikTok. And one of the nice things about TikTok is it doesn't matter how many followers you have on TikTok. So each individual video is evaluated on its own merit. So you can have, 10, 20, 50, or 100 followers, followers. And if you make a really good video, it can very easily go viral. Whereas on Instagram's algorithm looks at how many followers you have and then shows it to a corresponding amount of people. So it doesn't necessarily judge each video on its own merit, it judges it on the channel in and of itself. Whereas TikTok, again, if you create something that's, really funny and eye-catching and great, all of a sudden that can blow up and go viral, even if you only have 50 or 100 videos. So you might as well use TikTok to repurpose the shorts that you're making on YouTube already, but that's really the extent to what it is. There's not like a community that you're really building there. It's not really that effectively used for personal branding. You can set up, of course, your links and your landing pages, etc., to funnel traffic from TikTok, to your landing page or to your Instagram. Again, you can build your personal brand through your Instagram page quite effectively. Which leads me to the last platform that I would recommend using is LinkedIn. So here's the thing, all those other platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, those are all B2C platforms. So you're trying to go direct to the consumer, you're trying to build that connection with the end user and eventually, hopefully, sell them a product. LinkedIn is a little bit different. So LinkedIn has a little bit of B2C. I've definitely gotten clients from LinkedIn. However, I would say it's most effectively used for B2B. Now, LinkedIn is where you're going to start to build your credibility, your brand awareness, and your referral partners. So I would take all the content that you're putting on YouTube, both the short form content and maybe some long form content. I would repurpose this on LinkedIn, and then I would also layer in some posts, and I would recommend some controversial posts because those seem to be the best performing on LinkedIn, And this is where, in my opinion, it's used best to build your reputation within the financial services industry itself. And from that, that's where you can get featured, on lots of articles. That's where you can get put on as a guest on podcasts for different financial podcasts. That's what I've been able to effectively do in my business. And through that, I've been able to build a good, solid reputation in the financial industry and leverage that to now get referral partners that I've connected with on LinkedIn, such as mortgage brokers, real estate agents, accountants, etc. So LinkedIn is somewhat B2C, but more it's B2B. And you need to start to think outside of the box and think, who can I connect with on a B2B level? Maybe it's a property and casualty shop, where you can sell life insurance to all of their clients that buy auto insurance. That's a really good connection to put on LinkedIn, build your credibility up with all the other content you're making on other platforms, and then hopefully get featured on articles and podcasts, etc. And then approach them and hopefully get a connection and referral partnership with them. I made another video on referral partnerships. If you're interested in that one, just comment below referral partnerships and I'll send that to you, or just find on my channel. But yeah, LinkedIn, not so much B2C, although I've definitely gotten clients from it. It's more of a B2B, building the credibility, the brand awareness, and getting those referral partners. So step number 4 is building out your content calendar. So, you can obviously, there's like a lot of things happening here, between YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, etc. You may start to get a little bit overwhelmed at the amount of work. However, find some type of system that works for you. So I've built a content calendar system out on Trello, which if you're interested in that, I feel like I've a dozen of these or so, comment below and ask for it. But just comment below and, ask for my content calendar system and I can send it to you. But whatever it is that you create, you want to create a system that you can manage all your different processes. And for me, I batch all of my content ahead of time. So I want to do all the work all at once. For example, yesterday I recorded 3 videos. Today I'm recording 3 more videos. Tomorrow I'm going to record the last 2 and I'll have done 8 videos for the month. Then I'm going to send it off to my editor. He's going to edit it in the next week or 2. And then I'm going to have them scheduled and it's good to go and scheduled for the following month ahead of time. So whatever system you build out, you want to create this content calendar, and then you also want to hopefully batch all your content. So you're doing all the work up front and you're getting everything scheduled so that next month or even the month following next month is already done from a scheduling point of view. So you're always ahead of the game and you're not going to be in a rush, It's Monday morning. Oh my God, I have to post something. Oh my God, I need to think about something. Create some type of system to manage the different platforms that you're posting on and the content that you're making. And now, of course, when you're starting out, you're probably going to be doing most of this work yourself. So you're going to be doing all the video editing yourself, maybe the graphic design yourself, the scheduling, the thumbnails, all of that yourself. However, over time, you do want to get it to the point where you have contractors to help you with all of these different things, because you want to spend your time as an insurance agent and financial professional on the most high value tasks within your business. And in my opinion, those 2 things are, number 1, building traffic and building brand awareness through content marketing. And number 2, having those one-on-one conversations with clients. Those are the most high value tasks that you have in your business. Everything everything else, you know, the follow-up, the scheduling, the content, the graphic design, like video editing, etc., etc., etc. All of those things you need to outsource via software or via contractors and focus on the most important things. In my business, I have a graphic designer, I have a thumbnail editor, I have a video editor, pardon me, I have a fractional CMO that manages all of these different individuals. I focus my time again on the high value tasks and I outsource the rest. But at first, you definitely should do some of these tasks yourself just to get a general idea of, you know, how to do them and what to look for in a contractor when they do start to replace them for you. So step number 5 is just rinse and repeat. So over time, you want to look at what's working in the business and what's not working, pardon me. You want to look at, you know, who's clicking what links are performing the best, what content is performing the best. And then you just want to rinse and repeat this over and over again and commit to doing this for the long term. If you're serious about this industry, you know, the insurance and financial industry, this is, in my opinion, the best way to consistently generate traffic and generate leads in 2025. So don't think of this as something that you're going to do one time or for a few months or for 6 months or 12 months. This is how you drive traffic now in your business. And here's the thing, it's going to be slow at first and then it's going to snowball over time and compound and get bigger and bigger and bigger, but you need to commit to this for the long term. This is your business, is content marketing, is brand awareness, is putting yourself out there and building that know, like, and trust factor within the industry. And if you commit to doing it long term, this is how you build a successful business in the insurance industry. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, just drop it below. And if you guys are enjoying this content, all I ask is you give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next one.